Every home has a few small frustrations that quietly steal time and energy. The cabinet under the sink that is always overflowing, charging cables that disappear behind the desk, a washing machine that rattles through every spin cycle, and narrow gaps that no ordinary sponge can reach. By the weekend, those tiny problems have piled up into hours of cleaning, searching, and fixing. But what if the problem is not that your home is too small or that you are not organized enough, but that the system itself was never designed around the way you actually live? Japanese homes often approach these frustrations differently. The solution is rarely a major renovation or expensive smart technology. More often, it is a small tool, a flexible storage idea, or a simple design that makes the right action easier. In this video, you will discover 14 practical Japanese home systems that use wasted space, shorten cleaning time, and remove everyday annoyances. And the first two begin with spaces most homes already have, but rarely use well. Turn wasted space into storage. One of the smartest Japanese home systems starts with a tool most people associate with curtains, the tension rod. Placed above a washing machine, it can become an instant drying rack for towels or lightweight clothing. Installed beneath a kitchen cabinet, it can hold dish towels, small cleaning tools, or spray bottles without taking up valuable counter space. There is no drilling, no permanent hardware, and no major renovation. But the rod is only the tool. The real system is learning to notice unused vertical space and give it a clear purpose. Of course, tension rods work best when used carefully. Always check the weight limit. Hang only lightweight items and avoid placing them where something could fall into water or onto a hot cooking surface. It is also worth checking the rod regularly to make sure it remains secure. Japanese homes often use another overlooked surface, the inside of cabinet doors. Garbage bags can hang neatly behind the door, while pot lids can be stored vertically instead of taking over an entire shelf. Before adding hooks or racks, measure the available depth and make sure stored items will not hit pipes, shelves, or containers when the door closes. Removable hooks are a useful option for renters. Your home may not need more space. It may simply need the space you already have to work harder. But creating more storage solves only one kind of frustration. The next systems make difficult cleaning jobs easier by changing the tool, not increasing the effort. Use the right tool for hard-to-reach cleaning and repairs. Some cleaning jobs feel difficult not because the dirt is stubborn, but because the tool is the wrong shape. Take the mineral buildup that forms around the base of a faucet. A sponge cannot reach the narrow edge, so people often scrub harder or reach for stronger chemicals. A slim crevice scraper works differently. It slides into the gap and lifts away buildup in seconds. If the residue is heavily hardened, soften it first. Test the tool in a hidden area and use light pressure. Avoid delicate paint, soft finishes, or surfaces that scratch easily. The same principle applies to bathroom repairs. Fresh silicone around a sink or bathtub can quickly turn messy if the bead spreads unevenly. A small silicone shaping tool helps create a smooth, continuous line that looks cleaner and reduces places where water can slip behind the joint. For the best result, remove the old silicone, clean and dry the surface, apply one steady bead, pull the tool in a single direction, and allow the sealant to cure fully. The tool improves the finish, but it cannot solve hidden moisture or mold already trapped behind the surface. Then there are the narrow tracks and grooves that ordinary sponges miss. Window rails, sink edges, and shower door frames. A long, narrow cleaning brush directs pressure exactly where it is needed. Keep separate colors for the kitchen and bathroom, rinse the brush after use, and let it dry completely. Cleaning is not always about stronger chemicals or more pressure. Sometimes the right shape does most of the work. The next solution does not create more storage or clean a difficult corner. It protects one of the most expensive appliances in the home. Stabilize appliances and make storage more flexible. A noisy washing machine can make the entire house feel unsettled. During the spin cycle, vibration travels through the floor, creates extra noise, and places long-term stress on the appliance. Many Japanese homes reduce this problem with thick anti-vibration pads placed beneath each foot of the machine. The pads absorb part of the movement before it spreads through the floor, helping the machine stay more stable and the room feel noticeably quieter. But before adding them, check that the washer is level, adjust its feet, avoid overloading the drum, and make sure the floor itself is flat. Pads can reduce vibration, but they cannot correct a severely unbalanced load or a mechanical problem. Japanese kitchens also use flexible storage rather than treating every shelf as permanent. A magnetic rack can attach to the side of a refrigerator and hold spices, towels, or small everyday items without drilling into the wall. When your routine changes, the shelf can move with it. Before using one, confirm that the refrigerator surface supports magnets, respect the weight limit, and avoid placing heavy glass bottles too high. Keep the rack away from heat and reserve it for items you reach for often. A good space does not have to remain fixed forever. It can adapt to what you need that day. Flexible storage helps the room adapt. But inside drawers and around desks, a different problem appears. Small objects have no clear place to return to. Give drawers and cables a clear place. Open a typical junk drawer, and everything slides into one crowded pile: scissors, tape, batteries, pens, and tools. Japanese homes often avoid this with modular dividers that turn one large space into clear zones. Each category gets its own place, and the empty compartment shows where an item should return. Before dividing a drawer, measure what you use. Keep frequent items near the front, avoid creating too many tiny sections, and leave one flexible area for unusual shapes. The goal is not perfection. It is to make finding and returning things automatic. The same idea works around a desk. Adhesive cable clips hold charging cords at the table edge so they do not fall to the floor or tangle behind furniture. Clean the surface before attaching them. Leave enough slack in each cable and avoid pulling tightly on the connector. Keep cords away from heat and moisture. Organization works best when the empty space itself shows you where an item belongs. The next tool removes marks with almost no cleaner, but it must be used carefully. After that, we will look at a filter that prevents a much more expensive problem. 2 small tools that reduce scrubbing and prevent clogs. Some Japanese cleaning tools look almost too simple to matter, yet they solve problems that often lead to harsh chemicals, extra scrubbing, or expensive repairs. A melamine sponge is one example. After being lightly dampened, its microscopic structure works like an ultra-fine abrasive, helping remove scuff marks, soap residue, and stains from certain hard surfaces with little or no cleaner. But it is not safe for everything. Always test it in a hidden area. Use gentle pressure and avoid glossy finishes, delicate paint, skin, or food contact surfaces, unless the product specifically allows it. The second tool works through prevention. A drain catcher sits over a sink or shower drain, trapping hair, lint, and small debris while allowing water to pass through. By stopping waste before it enters the pipe, it can reduce clogs and the need for strong drain cleaners. Choose a catcher that fits properly, empty it often, and rinse it before buildup begins to block the water. If the drain remains slow after the filter is cleaned, the problem may be deeper in the plumbing. Together, these tools represent 2 smart ways to reduce housework. Choose the right material for the surface and stop the problem before it travels farther. Yet not every useful Japanese system begins with buying something new. Sometimes it starts by looking again at what you were about to throw away. Motenai. Reuse without turning your home into storage. In Japan, the idea of motenai encourages people to notice value before throwing something away. An empty food container might become a drawer organizer. An old towel can be cut into cleaning cloths. Sturdy cardboard packaging can be turned into simple dividers. The question changes from, should I throw this away? To, could this still serve a useful purpose? But motenai does not mean keeping everything. Reuse gives an object a clear new function. Clutter is what happens when something is saved only because it might be useful someday. Before keeping an item, ask 5 questions. Is it clean and safe? Does it have a specific purpose? Will I use it soon? Can it replace something I would otherwise buy? And does it have a clear place to be stored? If the answer is no, recycling, donating, or disposing of it responsibly may be the better choice. Motenai is not about saving every object. It is about recognizing value without creating a new burden. Reusing one item can reduce waste, but the next system saves something even more valuable: the time lost to weekend cleaning. The 5-minute reset and the real secret behind Japanese homes. Many people spend hours cleaning on the weekend because they wait until every surface looks dirty. Japanese homes often follow a different rhythm. Small resets happen before buildup becomes visible. After cooking, the stove is wiped while it is still slightly warm. After a shower, the glass gets one quick pass with a squeegee. Before leaving the kitchen, the sink is rinsed and dried. Each task takes less than a minute, but together they prevent grease, soap residue, water spots, and clutter from turning into larger jobs. This does not mean cleaning all day. The habit works best when it is attached to fixed moments: after dinner, after a shower, before leaving the kitchen, or before going to bed. A simple rule is 1 room, 1 reset. In the kitchen, wipe the stove and sink. In the bathroom, remove water and hang the towel. In the living room, straighten the sofa and return the remote. At the entrance, put away shoes and daily items. By now, the real secret should be clear. It is not the products. Japanese home systems often follow 3 principles: make empty space work harder, match the tool to the problem, and prevent buildup before it begins. A narrow gap needs a narrow brush. A vibrating appliance needs a stable base. A drain needs a filter before it clogs. Small objects need clearly defined spaces. A home becomes easier to manage not because the owner works harder, but because the system reduces repeated decisions and future repairs. And that leads to one simple way to begin, without buying all 14 products or changing your entire home: a 7-day challenge and one simple place to begin. These 14 Japanese home systems are not meant to create a perfect house. Their purpose is practical: remove one recurring frustration, eliminate an unnecessary step, give overlooked space a function, or stop a problem before it grows. Do not try to change everything at once. Choose the problem that annoys you most, perhaps a cluttered drawer, a noisy washing machine, tangled cables, or a sink that is difficult to maintain. Then select one system from this video and use it for 7 days. During that week, notice what changes. Does it save space? Reduce cleaning time? Require less effort? Make one decision disappear? Even a small improvement can change how smoothly a room works. Which system would make the biggest difference in your home? Leave the number in the comments. Subscribe to Inside Japanese Living for Japanese home ideas that make spaces calmer, cleaner, and easier to manage. Because the smartest home improvement is not always the biggest one. Sometimes it is the system that quietly removes one frustration every day,